All right, so every single boat that you build and do, it's a compromise. Every boat that you decide on, it's a compromise, one thing or another. So this boat's very small, it's 4.5 meters long. When I built it, I purposely didn't build a massive cast deck on it, and the reason for that, much to the dismay of all my mates, was because the intention was to fish this boat everywhere, out in the ocean, in the bays, in the rivers, and all that kind of stuff. I wanted to have enough space that I could get up on the dance floor if I needed to for casting, but I want to be able to fish in the bay and lure fish in the bay in open water where it's quite tippy, and so I didn't want to have half my boat be a cast deck. But as a result, it was always a struggle to work out how I'm going to add a seat to the equation. And as I'm lure casting more and more, especially chasing whether it's flatties or whatever, doing 12-hour days on the water, standing up, you're pretty knackered by the second, especially by the end of the second day. So I wanted to add a seat. I've been trying to work out how. I've worked out this little extension, so it's a fully removable little seat. So I'll show you the build in this video. Now on the build, I've done it as a really fast-forwarded kind of thing. So I've fast-forwarded through and seen the whole build process. I'm not too certain whether I like that or not, so I'm interested in the feedback, whether you'd rather like go snap cuts and it just goes bang, tart, like, hey, I'm gonna do this, bang, it's done, and then go on to the next one. I've done this one as a complete build from start to finish, so it's okay. I'm really glad with how it looks. I was able to speckle it, Flowcoat it and all that kind of stuff, and it's come up fairly well. It's not a perfect match for the boat, but it's not too far away, especially given the age of the existing Flowcoat. So over time, it'll match up a little bit better. But I think this is my very first session. It's not even. I've got to add a couple more bolts to it. I need to get some more bolts on from the hardware store on the way home. But it was a nice little day. I finished the seat and I've gone, I need to test this out and just see if there's anything more to add. So, but this thing's bloody incredible. It's going to change the way I fish, especially in these sort of closed systems, and mean hopefully by the end of a big day on the water, I'm not absolutely knackered. So the other thing is it's fully removable. So it's so I can stand up. I've got the full deck, so it doesn't limit any space on the deck. And then when I want to, I can just sit down. So I'm bloody wrapped with it. But anyway, we'll show the build, see how it goes. Raw rock hard. So time to demold. Did not want to do that, so I reckon that's strong enough. That's ridiculous. So next steps. So that's the seat socket, and that's going to sit on the front of the boat. Now I have to get a support. So people wanted to see long format shit. Let's start this again. People wanted to see long format stuff. So I'm mucking around, learning how to do things. This is just a big test. What I want to do, I need a 150mm wide piece of fiberglass. So I'm going to lay fiberglass onto this tube, but I don't want to ruin it because it's just a travel rod case of mine. So I'm going to lay the glass on the outside, roll it all up, and just see what happens. Might work, it might not. Alright, that might be the dumbest thing ever done. It's like a doner kebab looking thing. But if it works, it means I don't have to go and buy something, and I don't have to lay up a bit of timber, and I don't have to do a bunch of things. So if it works, it'll be easy. If it doesn't, back to the drawing board. Nearly bedtime. But peel this off and see what's good. Alright, that's all now glued together and structurally glassed together. Some bog on the inside. So then, the next steps, let this harden, and then I've got this little piece just here. I'll trim that to size. It's just from an old layup. That'll cap that off, give it some support, and then we're right to mount it. So the only thing I could do is measure it up and cut that down probably to about there. So yeah, let that go off and back at it about later on today. Alright, so sometimes you need a really high-tech solution. So straight edge. I don't know if this is obvious, but I'm already sick to death of these little tiny layups. And also the mess that my shed's in. I'm very much looking forward to finishing this little job and actually cleaning up. so that's the last layup of this bloody thing. Thank Christ. So that'll join that on. Doesn't need to be too structural, it just needs to hold it. So the next steps will be, like once this is all hardened, I'll cut all that off, I'll sand it all flat. I had a little crappy spot just there that I patched, and a little crappy spot there, which is probably still going to be crappy, but you're never going to see that. So then it'll be final sand, Flowcoat, and I'm going to try and fleck it. So I've never done that before, but we'll try and find out. All right, gotcha. I don't even want to understate how excited I am to be at the bloody tail end of this thing. So what we are, I pulled the mould off without the camera. I pulled off the mould. So I started cutting it with a Stanley knife the other night, but it was just too thick for me to cut, so I'm just going to finish this off with the belt sander. Got a few little areas to tidy up, and then we're onto Flowcoat. So got the Flowcoat, got the gun. Gonna have a crack at it for the first time. Probably stuff it up, but come along for the journey. All right, so what we've got here, it's a thing called a body deadening gun. So allegedly, if you run your compressor pressure all the way down, you can get a good spray pattern to suit a fleck. I'm going to stuff this up, but I've got a little regulator. So I've got that set to just above 20 pound. Who really knows? So, point the thing over there, got the gun, got the white. Alright, I think that's about where we want it to be. So let's just hope for the best, eh? Alright, now onto the black. Alright, so I don't want to downplay how fucking happy I am. So, for the very first time spraying a spec, I've seen that many horrific Flowcoat jobs, and this isn't a good one. I'm not claiming this is a good one, but for a first attempt, whew. So I'm very, 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 very happy with that. So, yeah. Anyway, let's see what it looks like in the morning. Hopefully it kicks off. I'm all about this seat. I should have put one of these things on years ago.